What if the real reason your financial future feels slow isn't the economy, your background, or bad luck, but the beliefs you repeat to yourself every day? Napoleon Hill taught that wealth begins in the mind long before it shows up in your bank account. The thoughts you accept become the limits you live with. The beliefs you nurture become the results you experience. If you secretly believe money is scarce, risky, or not for people like you, your actions will quietly prove you right. But if you believe growth is possible, opportunity starts to reveal itself. Stay with me until the end. One shift in belief can change your financial timeline forever. Lesson 1. Your beliefs program. Your results. The human mind operates much like a sophisticated piece of software. Your beliefs are the source code that dictates every output in your physical reality. When we talk about financial success, most people focus on the how-to, the tactics, the stock picks, or the side hustles. However, these are merely applications running on an operating system. If your underlying belief system is programmed with the idea that money is the root of all evil, or I am just not a lucky person, no amount of tactical knowledge will produce a harvest. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, and the most fundamental system you own is your belief structure. A goal is a target, but a belief is the trajectory. If your trajectory is skewed by 5 degrees at the start, you will miss a target 1,000 miles away by a massive margin, regardless of how hard you run toward it. The neurological basis for this lies in the reticular activating system (RASA), a bundle of nerves at our brainstem that filters information. Your RASA takes what you believe to be important and brings it to your conscious attention while filtering out the rest. If you believe wealth is an impossibility for someone in your circumstances, your RAS will literally delete opportunities from your field of vision. You could walk past a life-changing partnership or a glaring market gap and never see it because your brain has been instructed to ignore things that contradict your internal narrative. Conversely, when you shift your belief to wealth is a skill I am currently mastering, your brain begins to highlight data points that support this new reality. You start noticing trends, hearing keywords in conversations, and spotting leverage points that were invisible to you just days prior. Moreover, beliefs dictate our relationship with failure. If you believe your talent is fixed, a financial setback feels like a verdict on your worth, leading to paralysis and retreat. But if you believe that wealth is a result of iterative learning, a setback is merely a data point, an expensive but necessary tuition payment in the school of success. This shift changes your behavior from defensive to offensive. You stop playing to not lose and start playing to win. You begin to understand that the external world is largely a mirror of your internal state. If you feel like a victim of the economy, you will act like one, seeking security over growth. If you believe you are a creator of value, you will seek problems to solve, knowing that the market rewards solutions with capital. Changing the belief isn't just positive thinking. It is a recalibration of your entire cognitive filtering system. To truly change these programs, one must perform a system audit. Look at your current financial results not as a reflection of your worth, but as a reflection of your previous beliefs. If your bank account is stagnant, it is likely because you have a hidden safety belief that prevents you from taking the necessary risks to grow. Perhaps you believe that more money means more stress, or that you aren't the type of person who handles large sums. Until these subconscious scripts are dragged into the light of conscious awareness, they will continue to run your life, and you will call it fate. By consciously choosing a new belief that wealth is a tool for freedom and that you are capable of managing it, you give your brain permission to find the path. The path was always there. You just finally gave yourself the eyes to see it. Lesson 2. Faith creates focused action. There is a common misconception that faith is a passive state, a form of hopeful waiting for the universe to provide. In the context of wealth building, true faith is the most aggressive force imaginable. It is the deep-seated conviction in an outcome that has not yet materialized, providing the emotional fuel necessary to take massive focused action. Without faith, action is sporadic and half-hearted because the mind is constantly calculating the probability of failure. When you operate from a place of doubt, you keep one foot on the brake. You send the email but you don't follow up, you start the business but you don't market it aggressively. Faith removes the foot from the brake, allowing you to commit your full intellectual and physical resources to the task at hand. Faith acts as the bridge between a dream and a habit. We all know that habits compound into wealth, but habits are notoriously difficult to form when the reward is delayed. This is where most people quit, in the valley of disappointment, where the effort is high but the results are not yet visible. Faith is the only thing that carries an entrepreneur or investor through this valley. It allows you to show up at 5 a.m. to work on your craft when your bank account still says zero. It is the certainty that the law of sowing and reaping is in effect even when the ground looks barren. When you believe the harvest is inevitable, the grind loses its friction. Discipline ceases to be a chore and becomes a devotion. You aren't forcing yourself to work, you are preparing for the success you know is coming. This level of focused action creates a winner's effect in the brain. Each time you take action based on your faith, you receive a small hit of dopamine, reinforcing the behavior. Over time, this builds a momentum that is nearly impossible to stop. People around you might call it obsession or working too hard, but from the inside it feels like alignment. You are no longer fighting yourself. You have eliminated the internal debate of "is this worth it?" because your faith has already answered that question with a resounding yes. This clarity of purpose allows for a level of focus that the average person cannot maintain. While others are distracted by shiny objects and quick fixes, the person with faith stays on the path, executing the boring but essential tasks that eventually lead to exponential growth. Ultimately, faith is a form of mental rehearsal that prepares the body for the reality the mind has already accepted. When you act with total conviction, you move differently, speak differently, and negotiate differently. People are naturally drawn to those who possess a quiet certainty in their direction. This faith-fueled presence often attracts the very resources, partners, and luck that seem miraculous to the skeptical observer. But it isn't magic, it is the natural byproduct of a mind that has eliminated the static of doubt. By focusing entirely on the execution of your vision, you become a magnet for the results that match your internal state. Faith isn't just believing you can do it, it's acting as if it's already a done deal, leaving the how to be solved through your relentless inspired movement. Lesson 3. Your self-image sets your income ceiling. Your self-image is the internal thermostat that regulates your life's temperature. Just as a thermostat will kick on the air conditioning if a room gets too hot, your self-image will kick on self-sabotaging behaviors if you start to achieve success beyond what you believe you deserve. This is why lottery winners often lose everything within a few years. Their bank accounts grew, but their self-image remained poor. They were comfortable at a certain level of struggle, and their subconscious mind worked overtime to return them to that familiar state. To achieve lasting financial expansion, you must manually override the thermostat. You must expand your identity to match the income you desire, or you will eventually find a way to bleed off the excess wealth. Most people define themselves by their past or their current limitations. They say, "I've always been bad with numbers," or "I'm not the entrepreneurial type." These statements are not observations of fact. They are self-imposed boundaries. Your identity is not a fixed monument. It is a fluid narrative that you are writing in real time. To upgrade your income, you must first upgrade your I am statements. You must move from "I am trying to save money" to "I am an investor." You must move from "I am an employee" to "I am a builder of value." This shift in identity changes the questions you ask yourself. An employee asks how to get a raise. A builder of value asks how to solve a bigger problem for more people. The latter is the question that leads to true wealth. Expanding your self-image requires you to become a learner as a core identity trait. When you view yourself as a finished product, you become defensive of your current status. When you view yourself as an evolving system, you become hungry for the skills that will take you to the next level. This means investing in yourself, not just in terms of money, but in terms of the psychological weight you give to your own potential. You must begin to see yourself as someone who is worthy of high-level rooms and complex challenges. If you feel like an imposter in a room of successful people, your self-image is still calibrated to your old life. You must lean into that discomfort until the new environment feels like home. You belong where your contribution is valued, and your contribution is a direct result of who you believe you are. The most practical way to shift your self-image is through evidence-based identity building. You cannot simply wish for a new identity, you must provide your brain with proof. Every time you read a book on finance, every time you choose to invest rather than spend, and every time you complete a difficult task, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. These small wins accumulate. Eventually, the weight of evidence becomes so heavy that your self-image is forced to shift. You look at your actions and conclude, I am the kind of person who is disciplined and financially savvy. Once this shift occurs, maintaining wealth becomes easy because you are simply acting in alignment with who you are. You no longer have to try to be successful, you simply are successful and your actions naturally follow suit. Lesson 4. Environment reinforces belief. The human brain is a social organ, designed to adapt to the norms and expectations of the tribe it inhabits. This biological drive for belonging is a double-edged sword. If your inner circle views debt as a way of life, complains about the economy and scoffs at those who try to improve themselves, you will find it nearly impossible to sustain a mindset of growth. Your environment acts as a gravitational pull. It either launches you toward your goals or keeps you tethered to the ground. You cannot expect to have a millionaire mindset if you are constantly marinating in the poverty consciousness of your surroundings. Your environment is the soil in which your beliefs grow. If the soil is toxic, the seeds of your ambition will wither, no matter how much you water them with willpower. Environment is not just about the people you talk to, it is the sum total of the information you consume. In the digital age, your environment is largely defined by your social media feeds, the podcasts you listen to, and the news you watch. If you are constantly bombarded with narratives of scarcity, fear, and division, your brain will naturally adopt a defensive, contracted posture. To build wealth, you must curate a digital and physical environment that normalizes high-level thinking. You want to reach a point where ownership is a standard topic of conversation, not a radical idea. When you surround yourself with content that focuses on leverage, compounding, and value creation, these concepts stop being theories and start being the lens through which you view the world. There is a concept called proximal development, which suggests that we learn best when we are in the company of those who are slightly ahead of us. Seeking out mentors, peer groups, or even digital communities of high performers is not an act of vanity, it is an act of psychological survival. When you see someone else, someone no more special than you, achieving the goals you've set, it shatters the impossibility barrier in your mind. Their reality becomes your possibility. This is why proximity is power. Being in the room where deals are made or where high-level strategies are discussed recalibrates your sense of what is normal. If everyone you know earns $50K a year, $500K feels like a fantasy. If everyone you know earns $500K, it feels like a baseline. Ultimately, you must become the architect of your own atmosphere. This may require the painful process of distancing yourself from energy vampires, people who project their own fears and limitations onto you. It means choosing books over mindless entertainment and intentional networking over casual hanging out. You are not being elitist, you are being protective of the most valuable asset you own, your mindset. By intentionally surrounding yourself with growth-oriented individuals and ideas, you create a feedback loop that reinforces your new beliefs. When your environment says you can and your internal belief says I will, your results become inevitable. You no longer have to swim against the current, you have chosen a new river that is already flowing toward the ocean of success. Lesson 5. Repetition rewrites the mind. The architecture of the brain is plastic, but it is also stubborn. Deeply ingrained limiting beliefs are like well-worn paths in a forest. Even if you want to go a different way, your feet naturally gravitate toward the familiar trail. To create a new path, you must walk it over and over again until the old one is overgrown and the new one is clear. This is the power of repetition. Your subconscious mind does not learn through logic or a single epiphany. It learns through the persistent rhythmic drumbeat of repeated thought and action. What you tell yourself daily, the quiet self-talk that runs in the background of your mind, is the most powerful programming language on earth. If you don't consciously choose your narrative, the world will choose a default one for you. Most people are unaware of the inner critic that narrates their day with a stream of subtle discouragements. I can't afford that. I'm not smart enough for this. Or things never work out for me are mantras of failure. To rewrite the mind, you must replace these with active affirmations, not just empty words, but declarations of intent backed by emotion. When you repeatedly tell yourself, I am a person who finds opportunities in every challenge, you are literally building new neural pathways. Over time, these pathways become the default setting. The first time you say it, your brain might reject it as a lie. The 100th time, it begins to consider it. The 1,000th time, it accepts it as an objective truth, and your behavior begins to align with that truth automatically. Repetition also applies to your skills and your financial habits. The reason paying yourself first is such a powerful wealth-building tool isn't just because of the money saved, it's because of the repetition of the act. Every month you move money into an investment account, you are repeating the belief that you are an investor. Every time you study a new market or read a financial report, you are repeating the belief that you are a student of wealth. These repetitions build cognitive ease. Eventually, making smart financial decisions requires no willpower at all. It becomes as natural as breathing. You have practiced the wealthy version of yourself so many times in your mind and your small actions that you can no longer inhabit the old version. Consistency is the secret sauce that makes repetition work. The mind is a master of detecting patterns. If you are on one day and off the next, the brain ignores the input. But if you provide a consistent daily stream of empowering thoughts and disciplined actions, the brain concludes that this new information is vital for survival. It begins to prune away the old limiting connections to make room for the new expansive ones. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. They aren't smarter, they have just repeated the right thoughts and actions for so long that they have become a different person on a neurological level. The compounding of interest is a powerful financial force, but the compounding of thought is the most powerful force in the universe. Repeat your new reality until your old one becomes a distant memory. Napoleon Hill was clear: your financial future doesn't begin in your wallet, it begins in your mind. Change what you believe about money, success, and yourself, and your actions will follow a new direction. Start today by choosing one empowering belief and acting on it for the next 7 days. Small shifts repeated daily create early momentum, and momentum creates results. Your future is being shaped right now by what you choose to believe.